Well, it seems eBay is about to start charging us even when no one even clicks on an advert. Whatever next? Next, they'll be charging us final value fees when we don't even sell anything. Hey everybody, welcome back. Welcome back to Monday night 8 p.m. Or actually, what time is it now? It's 8:13 p.m. We're 13 minutes late. I just could not get StreamYard to play ball at all. You won't know, most of you won't know, but you have to add yourself to the screen so that you guys can actually see and hear me, and it would not let me add myself, which is a bit weird really, but there you go. I fixed it. Basically, I had to shut everything down. I shut the whole computer down, all my pop-ups that I had ready for the show, shut it all down, and now it's working. So, yeah, we are back on. Welcome, everybody. I hope you're all okay. And I hope your sales have been all right. I did not have to think very hard about tonight's show topic. I mean, I thought so hard about making a standalone video on this one, but it was just too easy for me just to leave it for tonight's show because I'm always struggling for, not always, but sometimes struggling for subjects. And it popped along on, I think, was it Friday? And it was like a gift from the gods for tonight's show. So we're going to talk about it. There is a poll in the chat. I'm just looking up at it now. Let's just have a quick look. If you've not voted in that poll, go along and vote because we will refer back to it in a bit. It's pretty close, to be honest. I'm very close. There's not really, well, it's not really a standout, you know. But anyway, cast your votes. Speak now, forever hold your peace. And you might notice there is no Belle tonight. Belle has the big C, COVID. So, yep, she came back from Paris last Monday. She was shattered, and so she weren't on the show last week. And now, turns out she has COVID. She tested today, and she's got all the typical COVID signs and symptoms. So, yeah, she got the 2 red lines. So I wouldn't be surprised if I end up with it as well now, because I've been obviously in a company for the entire week, not knowing. So yeah. Anyway, let's get on with the show. Thank you all for being here. If you're new here and you've just turned up to this calamity of a start of the show, it's not normally like this, honestly. I'm a full-time reseller. I predominantly use eBay to sell on. I also sell on Vinted, whatnot. And I enjoy buying at car boot sales, hence the name Car Boot Chris. I've got a lot of new subscribers in this last week or so. I think we've had over, why is the camera so there? I think I've had almost 400 new subscribers in the last month, which is more than my average. So welcome, everybody. Most people are here for the pallet decking for some reason. Don't know why. I'm going to say hello to as many people as possible in the chat, and get your hellos in now. I'm way behind, so this just isn't going to work, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to do it anyway. Let's start the music. We've got 2 minutes of live and kicking to accompany us, and when that music is over, that is it. say hello to as many people as possible. And thank you to Emsden for keeping the chat in order. James D, welcome to you. Angel Delight, Rosie Marsden, Pitco, James Dresser, Helen, Deborah Sardine, Resell for Rescue, Phil Higginson, Chris Tyler, Ali Evans, Limelight Vinty, Dan, Fluffy the Muffin, Deborah Sard, I've already said that one. Lynn, Flipper Lee, and Kevali's Left-Handed Hummingbird, Chris Tyler, Kevin Hawthorne in Florida, Tam's Reselling Life, Tap Peddler Derek, Cheryl Hughes, and who else we got? Come on, Chris, come on. Jeff is in the house, and who else have we got? Come on, Cheryl. I've said Cheryl. I've said Limelight. Come on, get your hellos in. Ready, Steady, Retro. With lots of comments in. I'm going to be way behind. Elrith Venter. Life in the First Lane. Oh, crikey. Come on. Mark Hill, welcome to you. Geordie Reseller. Alknax. Pat Walker. I've said Cheryl. I've said that 3 times now. Rachel Fantastic's in. Carol Harris. Robert Anthony. Fix It Frida. Karen Shields. Lisa Zebu. I think I've got everybody, haven't I? Antoinette. Lots of get well soons for Belle. Thank you, everybody. Bebo. Aaron Sells. Have I said Karen Shield? Richard Payne, The Crazy's Life. I think I've done it. Bloody hell, there's a lot of comments there. Des. I thought that said Des Lynham then. Dig Vintage. That's it. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for popping in and joining us. Did I miss Fix It Frida? Can't miss Fix It Frida, can I? Somebody said Fix It Frida, but don't know what that was about. If you put a comment in earlier, just bang it back in again. Let's just get this going, because I think we can unpack this all night. This eBay fiasco. Bring it on. Come on, put your comments in now. Here's my take on it. I was actually I was surprised about this one. They've caught us off guard with this announcement, haven't they? I was not expecting like such a big change. And I don't know if the eBay bosses think that, oh, well, we'll just slip that in an email and nobody will notice. But it's a big change, that, in how promoted listings are going to be recorded and charged. And it just beggars belief how they just announced it in an email. It's like banging a big extra fee on, and I know it's optional. It is optional. The way I see it now is, if you use promoted listings general, which a lot of us use, then you are going to get charged that fee pretty much no matter what. There's not many circumstances. In fact, there's only one circumstance you won't get charged that fee, and that's if nobody ever clicks on the ad, which, let's face it, that's not going to happen. The other way that you might not get charged is if you've just promoted an item, and it's only been promoted for a day, and maybe nobody's clicked on it, and then somebody buys the item. Luckily, no one's clicked on it. You might then not get charged you shouldn't get charged a fee. But the chances are so small. They're like 0.01% of a chance of you getting no clicks on your item. And let's face it, there's going to be a team of people up at eBay, like the ad clickers, let's call them that. There's going to be a team of ad clickers all sat in an office at eBay headquarters, going round clicking on everybody's ads. It's not a serious comment, but come on, we can all see it. A team of ad clickers, probably not even in this country, just somewhere else, like earning 5p per million clicks, and they're going to be clicking on everyone's ad so that everyone's got at least one click. And then after that, we all get charged for that sale. I don't know what to say about it, you know, because it's absolutely scandalous, this one. It really is. Why should we have to pay when that person hasn't bought the item? It just boggles my mind, this one. It's come out of nowhere. I would rather eBay said, "You know what, everybody? Your fees are going up by 1% this year because of inflation, whatever other bollocks they want to come out with. Because of inflation, we're putting your fee up by 1% on all categories, your final value fee, and that's this year's increase." But this is such an eBay way to do it, isn't it? It's so eBay the way they did this. It's like a little backdoor fee. And you know what I worked out today, and I didn't know this until I did it I posted it in our Discord today. On some sales now on eBay, it's like Amazon. 5 different fees on some sales, certain sales. If you sell international GSP, or I don't know if it's normal international as well, but certainly I use GSP. If you sell GSP, potentially 5 different fees on your item. You've got the final value fee. You've got the final value fee fixed, which is 30p. So there's 2. You've got an international fee. There's 3. You've got the regulatory operating fee. There's 4. And you've got an ad fee, assuming you've been charged one. That's 5 different fees, eBay. This is worse than Amazon. I mean, I know the percentages aren't quite as high as Amazon, but it's getting there, isn't it? I just can't understand this, right? Because the last few months, eBay have made some mistakes, and I think they've realized they've made some mistakes and they've tried to put it right, especially with us business sellers. But this one is just, I can take a fee increase, but not pay for something that I'm not receiving. And an ad fee where someone doesn't click on something and you get charged it. That's not fair. That I'll take an inflation fee, whatever, you know, but not something that they've not deserved to earn. Come on then, put your comments in, because I can't see anybody. Is there anybody in the chat who can give us another side of this argument? Can you give us an argument on, I always try to play devil's advocate. I try to sit in the middle and think of what would I do if I worked at eBay, and can anyone give us something from another point of view that actually, oh, that makes sense why eBay would do this? I don't have anything that tells me that why it would make sense, other than obviously a money grab from eBay. We know that. But why do this? It's such a shady way to make more money from us. Shady. It really is. And I'll tell you in a bit. I'll talk to you in a bit about what my plans are into the future as this fee change comes in on promoted listing. I'll tell you what I'm going to do, and then we can talk about what you are thinking about doing, if anything, because according to the chat, 31% of you are not going to change anything, which is really interesting, actually. You're going to carry on with your promoted listings, whatever, and not make any changes. And just take that extra fee. Before I get into the chat, and I know I've talked a lot, you know what I'm like. I'll get it off my chest and then we'll come to you guys. Right. Early this morning, when I looked at my weekend sales, 21 sales I had. And of those 21, the majority were linked to promoted listings. That's fine. I expect that. There were 7 sales from the weekend that I didn't receive a promoted listing fee, but in the new system, those 7 will all be chargeable. So it's quite a big, like, I just took a quick snapshot of the weekend. 7, that's it's a third. It looks like, based on the weekend sales, my cost of promoted listings will likely go up by a third. Just as a snapshot on like 20 sales. I mean, you can do the same snapshot, go across your previous so many sales, however many you want to do. Have a look at which ones sold with and without promoted listings, and if those ones that sold without fit into the parameters of being chargeable under the new system. I found 7 out of 21 would now be chargeable. So yeah, definitely. I'm gonna skim back and just see what everyone's been saying. Oh, I just need to just pause just for a moment. Just pause for a minute. I almost forgot, and that would be horrible for me to forget this. I want to send my best wishes, condolences on behalf of me, Bella, and Little Cookie to Mr. Diggs and his family. Because I don't know if you know, but Mr. Diggs has been in and around the reselling community for quite a while now, several years, Mr. Diggs. And yesterday he lost his wife, and he put it on Facebook that his wife had passed away. Suddenly, unexpected, and very, very sad time for Mr. Diggs. So I want to just, before I carry on, actually, really important, our condolences to Mr. Diggs, Adrian. So sorry to hear your news. If you're watching, don't know if you will or not, but it doesn't matter. We send all our best to you. Horrible, horrible time. Right. I meant to do that early doors and I forgot, which was not good. So need to do it now. I think I got carried away with all the technical issues. Let's get back to the chat. Just chat amongst ourselves, says everybody. Tell me what you think about this eBay change. I know for a fact that eBay occasionally do watch this live show back, especially if it's got something to do with them. If there's something in the title about eBay, I know they pick up on it. So let's send a message to them. If we can, try and be constructive. I'm always in favor of being constructive rather than just have a rant. That's why I said, you know what, if there was due a little bit of a fee increase, fine. But this feels different to me. Anyway, let's crack on. Lots of you chatting amongst yourselves, which is great. I'm still working through the bits before we started. Let's go through quickly. I'm looking for things that jump out at me. So if I've missed a comment, please feel free to put it back in the chat. Oh, also very shocking what's happened on the Liverpool parade tonight. Crikey. I don't know if it's a big T attack or something else, but awful, absolutely awful. Yeah, this is what I thought, Pitco. People were releasing videos about it, and I just thought, you know what, let's just save it for Monday. We will talk about it live, which is always more interesting because I don't have to just sit there and give my opinions to the camera, which is fine, but it's always more interesting live. Lots of condolences, and also for Belle as well for the big COVID. Dan says, I put off eBay for 20 years, started 10 months ago. Yeah, Dan, ever since you started, it's gone to rat shit, hasn't it? It has. We've had problem after problem, haven't we? Handyman Chris. I know, Karen, I know. I don't want to be a handyman. I don't particularly enjoy doing DIY stuff. It tends to go wrong, although I have had some good successes so far this year. Wow, lots of people chatting. Cheryl's got a good question. Have they stopped caring about sellers? The thing is, the impression I got from eBay, I'm talking to people at eBay earlier this year was on the whole, there was lots of positive stuff coming, especially for business sellers. There was lots of positivity coming this year, 2025. And then bang, they dropped this bombshell. And it is a bit of a bombshell. It's going to increase our fees. For those of you who do promote listings general, it's going to increase our fees. I would think a fair percentage. A fair percentage. Greed. It's eBay. It's the eBay sandbox. If you want to play in it, you got to play by their rules. That there is something in that, though, isn't there? At the end of the day, they can do what they like. They can definitely do what they like. But also, what they do need to realize is that we can also do what we like, and we can go off and do other platforms if we want to. One thing that this has done since Friday when this announcement came out, it kind of gave me a kick up the arse. So I will say thank you, eBay. Thank you very much, because what you did for me last week was you made me think, you know what? I've been slacking on the cross listing, and I've picked up the cross listing. I have now embedded 10 a day cross listing over onto Vinted. I use Sellerator. I was using it before. I'd slowed down using it. I'm using it back again, and I'm doing 10 a day on Vinted. I'm cross listing. I'm putting my eggs in other baskets, and yeah, it's given me a kick just to get back on that cross listing wagon. You know what I mean? So for that, eBay, thank you very much, because I might have carried on just being very lazy, and that's what it boils down to, guys. It boils down to me being lazy on the cross listing thing. Well, to be honest with you, eBay, you've done me a favor there. Jane says, I'm a private seller, so never promote. Read it and didn't get it. It's fairly simple, Jane. Once you've promoted your item, just once it's got one click from somebody, if anybody else buys that item, you pay the fee within 30 days, which is almost a guarantee. It's 99.99% a guarantee you're going to pay the fee when it sells. Karen, like everything on eBay, we adapt quickly, love it or hate it. Very true. Very true. It'll be old news next week. And once it kicks in, it'll just be the new norm. But it doesn't mean we can't express our opinions about it. Shareholders are important. Suck it up. Fluffy says, do you increase your prices or take the hit? I won't be increasing my prices, Fluffy, but there's other ways to potentially handle it. I'll talk about that in a bit once I can get to the bottom of the chat. This is a good point, Lisa. We'll absolutely be screwing each other over when we check listings for sell similar. Absolutely, yeah. You imagine you're doing a search for something you're about to sell. So you're going on eBay, you're searching, you click into a listing because it looked like a good one, and sell similar. Bang, you've given that one a view that could have been an ad listing, and therefore now that seller's going to get charged on it, whoever buys it. Most of the time I sell similar from a sold, so that's not so bad. However, there are times when I sell similar from a listing. So yeah, that is true. Des says, had a one-to-one session with eBay last week. It was terrible. Things are going downhill fast, even in the last year. I even threatened to leave for Vinted. But they won't be that bothered, Des, because one person threatening in a one-to-one to leave for Vinted, they're probably not that bothered. You know, they've got 100 millions of users in the UK, you know. So they won't be that bothered about it. Exactly, bots. Yeah. That's what I meant as well, bots. Totally, yeah. Absolutely need more income streams than one. Definitely. Yeah. No mention, was there? No mention. Buttons presentation. Nice one, Andy Stone. I get that one. Definitely. Tam will be there because he's a big detectorist. Zebu, here we go. Zebu's got some truth for us. The truth is, even 10.9% sales fee plus whatever promoted fee is still cheaper than running our own website and paying for traffic. Got to adapt and improve. That's a very fair comment, Zebu. It is. It is still true. Trust me, I've been trying to build a Shopify website and it is not easy. It is not easy at all. It is very time consuming to get anywhere, to get your website viewed or even on Google. Possibly they were trialing it in Germany. It won't surprise me. Rachel says, I haven't promoted any listings in years and I'm still alive. Everyone should just stop doing it. We all survived before promoted listings was invented. Yeah, 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 fair point. When are eBay going to start doing something good? Cheryl, it's the first you've heard of it. Wow. Did you not get the email? Are you a business seller? I don't know. I don't know if it was just business sellers that got this one. Aaron's not happy. Dan says, we went to the eBay roadshow last week. The atmosphere was a lot more positive than the reality. And I bet they didn't mention this. Ian said, I just promote at 3%. Tam, I'm too afraid to stop promoting or to reduce my percentage since it's still my main income source. Yeah, I understand that, Tam. The thing is, like, when things feel quiet for you, you really don't want to mess too much with like your promoteds and stuff for fear of it getting worse. Mind you, Tam, could it be any worse? Like, would it benefit you having a little tinker, if you pardon the expression? Lisa said, I don't know what to do. If I lower my rate, they'll punish me. It's very time consuming, Dan. You know, part of me thinks I'd rather pay the few extra percentages on eBay. eBay pushing everyone away from the platform. Life in the first lane, it's a case of voting with your feet. Just don't promote and see if they change it. The problem with just doing that, though, life in the first lane, is you can also shoot yourself in the foot. You can have some terrible sort of quiet weeks by not promoting. So it's like when it's people's full-time income, like Tam was saying, Tam's having a hell of a time at the minute on eBay. And he's worried about not promoting and it getting even worse. So I can understand that. Linlin said, I'm glad I'm not a reseller. Dig Vintage, I think promoted is only worth it if you have in-demand items with lots of competitors. Otherwise, just compete on price. Sure. Don't promote, says Dan. Des, we were all encouraged to promote, but we are getting hit with crazy amounts now on top of the final value fee just to sell. And Des says no more promoting. Pitco reckons if you don't promote your listings after the first 7 days, it won't even be on the first page. Well, I guess it depends, Pitco. Like, how competitive is the market for your item? That's what somebody said before. It does depend on that. You know, it depends what niche. If you're in a niche, then you need to promote in order just to be visible. You know, now was the perfect time for eBay gum. And lots of condolences for Mr. Diggs and the family, which is nice. Thank you all for doing that. I don't know if he'll watch. I've sent him a private message anyway, so yeah. Dan said, you wouldn't think anything was wrong after going to the eBay show. The staff are doing everything to support us. They're even involved with Google to keep on track with the latest trends. Listen, it's not the staff. It's not the staff. People who turn up at the road shows and stuff like that. You know, the staff that are the cornerstone of eBay. It's not their fault. These decisions come from up top, from the people in charge of eBay, from the people in charge of the departments like promoted listings. This is where it comes from. And the staff down at the bottom, the frontline staff, if you like, they just have to deal with the backlash from us. It ain't their fault. They're not making the decisions. They just got to help people manage them, you know? Even with these new fees, eBay's still the best platform. You know what? Unfortunately, you are right. Yeah. I think this is true as well. I do think that when eBay, when any big company, right, is going to make a big announcement like this, they tell as few people as possible. They would not want any of that to be leaked out at like an eBay Open or any of the road shows that they've been doing. They would not want that leaking out anywhere. And it would do, wouldn't it? Even if just the odd staff member at a certain level were told about it, it would leak out. So I 100% believe that 99% of staff at eBay did not know that this was coming. Helen was thinking about promoting, but now she's thinking twice. Yeah, they probably didn't know. Like I was saying, Bebo, I would almost be certain that they did not know about it. Richard said, I stopped using promoted listings in April 2023, not look back. Sales as good as when I did use them. Hard to do a proper comparison, but happy with where I am. Well, that's the important thing, Richard. I mean, it's almost impossible, isn't it, to do an actual comparison because there's too many variables in play, especially when you just sell everything and anything. It's impossible, isn't it, to do a comparison. But as long as you're happy with where you're at right now, then that's all that matters. Dave ABL. I nearly said Dabiel. That could be his new name. I got a spider on my neck. Felt something running down my ear. eBay will only show concern when the share price goes down. Super Noodles got a good point. Communication, right? Why don't they actually explain why they make these changes and their thoughts behind it? You see, what I always think, like, they probably had yes, it's a cash grab, isn't it? It's a cash grab. There's no doubt about it. They're looking for ways to pull in more money, more fees. But maybe behind it there is like this is a change we're going to make, but also in return we're going to do this to help make things better for you. But what they did when they announced it, they just said, here's the change. And then they left it with us, just thinking, well, it's a cash grab, instead of giving us a XYZ. If they were to turn around and say, like, this is a change we're going to make. From now on, if you get a click, that's it. Basically, we're going to charge you that promoted fee. However, because of that, in return, there's going to be no more shop fees. I mean, I know that is almost never going to happen. But you know what I mean? Like, take away, but give it somewhere else. You know? We're going to do this is where we want our income model going down adverts. So we're not, we'll take this away on this side just so that you're not completely pissed off. But they didn't do that. They're like normal. They didn't do that. So it just leaves you thinking it's a cash grab. Yeah, Ian, eBay is still the biggest. But here's a question for you, and I've asked this question before. At what percentage does eBay become too expensive to sell on? When does it tip? What's the tipping point that says, actually, I cannot pay these fees anymore. It's too much. What's that tipping point? Somebody give me a number or a percentage. When is it too much? Des says, I was loyal to one platform for 20 years, but I'm going to take your advice and spread out. Spread out. At least test it, Des. At least try. Try and see what happens. Just, I think it's a good idea not to have everything in one basket. Antoinette says, I sell vintage jewelry. Fees are almost 15% in this category. My margins are tight as it is. No more promoted listings. Interesting, Antoinette. Just looking at the percentages here, it's very close on the poll. If you've not voted in the poll yet, go and vote. What's your plan with eBay promoted listings? So at the moment, most people have said, same as suck it up. So whatever you're doing now, they're going to carry on. Second place is no more promoting. So it's gone from one extreme to another. 30% are saying suck it up. 30% are saying I quit promoted. 13%, and this is the boat that I'm in, is make some changes to reduce the impact. And quite a hefty 26% of you never promote and never will. Interesting. Thank you for voting, everybody. It's still open. Carry on voting. Yeah, a lot of YouTube I decided not to. I decided to do it on the live because I could get your live opinions, which is good. Yeah, it's almost pay per click, isn't it? Almost. Aaron says it's underhand. It's a backdoor grab of money. Sellers scared to stop promoting. Yeah, that's kind of where we're left, isn't it? That's how we're left thinking. I know they have to make money, but it's like they're going to make a fair bit of money from this change. That's for sure. I mean, going off my little test of 20 sales over the weekend, the new change will mean that I will pay the extra 3, 4, 5%, whatever I decide to promote at. I will pay that percentage on a third more than what I was previously. 1/3, 30%. So potentially, if you scaled that to everybody, eBay potentially are going to make an extra 30% on their income for promoted listings. And that will probably be quite a big chunk. Also, do you know what? Something that I think might have prompted this, and this might be a change that we see. This is just me speculating, by the way. I know nothing about any of this. But I think the lack of uptake for the other promoted listings, you've got priority, offsite, shops. Is that it? Priority, offsite, shops. I think that's the other 3 promoteds. I think the lack of uptake for those and the lack of income coming in those maybe has forced them to push it onto the one that's the most popular. Potentially, like, it would make me a little bit happier. Like, if we're going to pay that fee anyway for every time we hit promote, why don't they just ditch all the other promoteds? Offsite, shops. I've forgotten the other one. Offsite, shops, priority. That's pay-per-click. I don't think they're ever going to get rid of pay-per-click. They've just announced an addition to pay-per-click, so they're probably not getting rid of that. But if they're going to increase the charges effectively on general, why don't they just get rid of the others and put all those aspects of promoted back into general, which is what it was in the first place? You part of general, or part of standard promoted listings, as it was called. It's now called general. But part of standard promoted listings was offsite, Google, your shop, and other stuff, which they separated out. I say bring that back in and scrap them. If it's not performing, scrap them and bring it back in. That's what I would do. Like, they could have said that, like, in their update, couldn't they? They could have said, "Here's what we're doing. This is why we're doing it. And we're gonna scrap this, this, and this, and we're gonna bring it all into one." So you get better value for money from your general. But I don't think they're gonna do that. I need to skip down so that I'm not too far. I'm just skipping down. If I've missed a comment, feel free to put it in. Oh, David, thank you so much. David recently joined the VIP crew. Thank you, David, for joining. I didn't receive a message from you about joining the Discord. If you want to join the Discord, David, please send me a message on one of the platforms that I'm on. Because YouTube don't tell me when someone new signs up. They don't give me any information about them, like emails or anything like that. So it's very difficult for me to communicate with you. But feel free to contact me if you want to get into the Discord. So I appreciate you joining us on the VIP. I've not heard this yet, Chris. No, don't think so. Not as yet. Unfortunately, his wife passed away yesterday, Dave. Very, very sad. Very unexpected, I believe, as well. Obviously, he's devastated. So, we all send our best. Nafanify, a lot of angry sellers are going to stop promoting. So the ones that are promoting should get more views and sales. Yeah, I'm into that. It's kind of logical that would happen. The government only have leaks. Michael says, I stopped promoted 6 months ago. I've not seen much difference in sales. I don't mind if things take longer to sell. Not that I've noticed that. Well, that's good to know, Michael. That is good to know. Alex is a bit late to the pie. No problem. Peter Ray, what's the deal with the chat coming up? It's a new thing, Peter, on StreamYard. You can turn it on and off. It says show comments on stage. I can turn it on. I can turn it off. I just thought for tonight I'd turn it on and see if you guys like it or not. Let us know if you like it or not. Like, I think it's mainly like if you're watching on telly right now, God help you having my big fat head like looking at you on telly, my ugly head, then you guys get to read that a little bit better down here. Down here. It's all about your profit on your item that you're selling in the first place. A good point, yeah. Des says tipping point is 35 or 40%. Bloody hell. I wouldn't want to give away that much, but yeah, that would definitely be a tipping point if it got anywhere near that. 30% my upper limit. Will the fees continue to rise? Well, that will be interesting, won't it? Postage keeps going up. Jason says it's hard to work out because if you buy an item at £1, sell it for 30 on eBay, 35% fee, still making a good profit. Yeah. Yep. But you're not always going to have something at £1 and sell it for 30, are you? UK Silver doesn't bother with the promoted anymore, especially if you're not selling things that everyone's selling. In corporate environments, most decisions are made by CEOs. A lot of these people don't interact with normal people. Yeah, I would imagine that this kind of was made by people in higher positions, and most of the frontliners at eBay would not have known about this. Married to reselling, I think I'm going to make tweaks, like only promoting items over a certain amount. Oh, okay, over a certain value. Not adding promoted as soon as usual. Not promoted listings with good early views, watchers. Probably end up saving money. Yeah, fair point. I'll tell you what I'm going to do in a second. Once I've hit the bottom of this chat, Let's see if I can get to the bottom here. Everyone should boycott promoted listings. Oh, Lisa don't like the little box in the corner. Chris Greaves, do you know 20,000 sellers? 20,000 sellers what, Chris? I briefly watched on the big telly. I could see halfway. I know, yeah. It's still light, isn't it? So, yeah, you can see all the way down. It's pissing it down here today. Oh, don't worry about it, Lana. It's StreamYard's always behind. StreamYard's always behind. I think they're aiming this at people who are just watching on telly and then not using their phone at the same time. StreamYard's about 30 seconds behind, I think. Selling on eBay's got messy. It does need to be simplified. There's just no need for 5 different fees. Tam said, I promote everything as soon as I list it, but I sell a lot of unique style items. I doubt it's worth promoting those things, but I don't know enough about how it works. Yeah, it's probably not, Tam, to be honest. It could be an idea to not promote for a short period of time on new listings, Tam, because new listings get the biggest boost. A brand new listing, not a sell similar, because eBay's thing knows it's a sell similar, or at least eBay's audience knows it's a sell similar, because it's an old item, so it's never going to get the same big boost as a brand new item. So brand new items get the best boost. So therefore, there is a good argument to say don't promote at all for a short period, just to allow it that natural boost. But I've been testing these things forever. I still test them now. No worries, David. No worries. Yeah, I totally believe that, Lisa. Jason said I sold a Lego Stormtrooper helmet, new and sealed, 160 quid. Within a few minutes of listing with no promoted. Excellent. That's what you want to see, innit? No promoted. Elder Ventura started making tweaks before that, doing 2% the first month and then 5% after. That's what you got to do, though, Ross. You just got to test until you find something that's right. Oh, I mean the chats are overlapping. Oh, okay. That's weird. Let me turn it off then. I'll turn it back on again. See if that helps. What about sell similar on another person's listing? That's pretty much what I always do. Never. Oh no, that's fine. As long as your listing is new to your page, it doesn't matter about sell similar. I'm talking about when you sell similar your own stuff and like you reduce the price and that. I mean, that's good. Like keep reducing the price, making tweaks. However, the fact that you've got to remember with your own sell similars is that most of the people looking for that item has already seen it on eBay. Most of the people. So it's never going to do quite as well as a brand new listing that's never been seen before, if you know what I mean. Next, I'll be taking money offers for each measurement message we don't respond to. Yeah. Right. Okay. I've hit the bottom of the chat, guys. Let's turn that chat off for a bit, that thing. See if it resets people's TVs. All right, here's what I'm going to do. Right. Currently, I promote at 5.1% capped trending rate. So a dynamic promotion. If eBay's trending rate is 4%, it will promote at 4%, but I cap it at 5.1. That's what I do at the minute. And also at the moment, I don't promote anything new for 7 days. Now, I recently dropped that down from 14 days. I wasn't promoting anything for 14 days, but at the moment, it's down to 7 days. So no promotions. And actually, I do get a few sales with no promotions on at all at the moment, which is good. So here's my plan. My plan is to do two things. I'm going to go back to 14 days for starters. So from now on, I'm doing it now, not waiting until the 24th, because if you remember what eBay said was in the last 30 days, if someone has clicked on your promoted. So that really starts now, basically. That is starting now. That 30-day period starts now. So come the 24th of June, yeah, listings that you promote now, which is 30 days, will start qualifying for that. So if you're going to make a change, I would suggest do it now. So I am going to change back to 14 days. So everything brand new, never been seen on my page before, will not be promoted for a whole 14 days. And then when it hits day 15, I'll promote it at whatever campaign I've got open, which I have now changed from 5.1 capped trending rate. I've changed it to fixed rate 4.1. So I've knocked 1% off it. And the reason I've gone to fixed 4.1 instead of capped at trending, I know this might sound complicated to some people, is because you can't, 5% is the lowest that you can do the capped trending rate at. So basically, there's nothing on eBay that promotes trending eBay rate, pretty much nothing less than 5%. So that's why I think eBay have probably made that lower limit of 5%, because, well, there's no point in being lower than 5% because they don't have anything that's trending rate less than 5%. So it doesn't make any sense. So there's the two things that I'm doing as a result of this. I'm not going to stop promoting. I don't think there's any need for that. And also, some of the things I do list does have a bit of competition. Some things don't. But I'm not going to like differentiate different items. I don't want to get that complicated on it. I want it to be as simple as possible when I'm doing listings and promoted and stuff. So this is my plan. Right now, I've changed today, 14 days, no promoted listings. And then when it does promote, it's going to be promoted at 4.1% fixed rate. Standard, I'll pay 4.1%. And of course, I will end up paying that on everything that sells that's promoted as an additional fee. It's basically like giving eBay a tip. So whoever gives the biggest tip is more likely to sell to eBay. It's not really an ad fee anymore, is it? It is like a tip. So I've agreed to tip eBay 4.1% for every sale that is marked as promoted listings. It's annoying when you think a bit like that, because it's not really an ad fee anymore, is it? It's not an ad fee. So that's my plan. Let us know what your plans are if you've not already. Oh, the tides have turned a bit on the poll. So at the moment, 32% of you are saying, that's it. I am done with promoted listings. I am finished. No more promoting. eBay, you're potentially losing a lot of people here. A third of the chat are saying no more promoteds for me. 29% are going to just carry on and suck it up and possibly get better sales as a result of it. I mean, let's face it. If a third of people are turning off promoted and another third of people are going to just suck it up and carry on, then that third are probably going to get a slightly better piece of the pie. 24% of you never promoted. So basically that stayed the same throughout the whole show. A quarter of you never promote and never will. And then the last one is what I'm doing, which I am surprised about. 15% of you guys watching have said, I'm going to make changes to reduce the impact. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going to make some changes. Let's see, where are we up to? Des says, I was I was dynamically promoting, but only items up over 2 weeks. To be honest, I found the whole promoted listings thing totally random. Before this new thing, I was thinking of knocking promoted on the head. Well, Des, maybe it's made its decision for you. The important thing with eBay, I find, is test. Test things as much as you can. Try different things out. See what impact it has. I've always said, though, like I was saying to Richard earlier, it's actually very hard to. You can test as much as you like, but to test and compare is very, very difficult on eBay. It's okay if you sell the same things week in, week out, the exact same things. If you have multi listings of, like for example, Phil Higginson, who sells coins, Phil can probably do a test and compare a lot easier than me or you, who just sell random stuff, one off items that will never have a multi listing on it. I'll never get in stock again, or very rarely. To test and compare with those kind of stores is very difficult. So I just say test. And if something like, if sales are doing all right, then maybe that test can be considered a success. No problem, Lin. We'll speak to you later. Hope you're okay. Yeah, Lisa, that's another thing. Pay per click, the promoted listings priority strategy. Pay per click is getting priority now for that top spot. So unless you do pay per click, then you're not going to get the top spot. I would say, though, Lisa, there is a rider to that potentially. What if for a certain item, nobody's done pay per click on it? Then nobody from priority strategy will get the top spot. So I would say potentially it would make sense then for the next best person from a general strategy to get the top spot. Like if I search for this tiki mug, and there's not that many of them on eBay, and as it happens, nobody's doing pay per click on this tiki mug. So therefore, the next one who gets the top spot is somebody who's actually just doing like 5% general. And the next person under that is someone doing 4% general, because the 5% has got the top spot because they're paying more to eBay. That's the way I envisage it happening. So it might not be a case of always never getting the top spot. It's just an idea, Dan. It might work for somebody else. It might not. It's what I'm going to do. That strategy has been working all right for me for a while. I've been doing 7 days no promoted, 5.1% trending. It's been working okay. I was actually on 10.1% capped about, I don't know how long ago now, probably like 6-7 months ago now, and I slowly whittled it down to 5.1%. And I still think there's not much difference in it. And I'm hoping that going down another percentage to 4.1 is not going to affect me too much. I hope not, anyway. ABL Dave said, I've altered my shipping, so my listings qualify for eBay premium service benefits, and I'm using the resulting discount on final value fees to part fund an increase in my promoted listings. Yeah, makes sense, that, Dave. Yeah, makes sense. I this week I considered shifting to 1 day dispatch rather than 2. But I figured I don't want to go down the post office every day. I just don't want to be in that boat of having to do that. I mean, the post office is just up there, right? It's a couple of 100 yards. I walk there most days. But I don't want to do it every day. I don't want to do the daily parcel wrap, the daily order pull. I'm quite happy doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday. A lot of the time, people do get like next day or sometimes even same day dispatch, depending on what time. Dan said there should be an option to promote a listing after 14 days automatically when you draft the item. Yeah, there could be so many more options, Dan, with promoted listings. There could be like there could be lots of options that they could give us to make promoted listings actually better. To micromanage them a bit more, to make it simpler and make automated processes, but there isn't. So it is pretty easy not to promote though, um, for a first period of time. It's very easy. You just have to sort them into order. Brown says, do you not think eBay has sellers by the balls with this new click feature, which will force sellers to use it if they want to keep persistent sales? Probably, yeah, yeah, absolutely. Des says, I think that the any click issue, yeah, it is. It is totally that's the main crux of it, Des, is that any click thing. That is the bit that is very, very sus. It almost feels like a scam, doesn't it? How can you pay for a promoted listing when the buyer hasn't even clicked on the promoted listing? That was the whole appeal of promoted listings. It's like, it's okay, right? You only pay if someone clicks and buys it. That's what I always used to say to people, like, it's a bit of a no-brainer. Pay if someone clicks and buys. If they click and don't buy, you don't pay. And then they brought this in, and now it feels a little bit underhand, doesn't it? Let's face it. Somebody used the phrase underhand. In fact, this is the second time this year I've used the phrase underhand as well. I used it earlier on in the year as well. And it's not good to be talking about eBay like that, because I love eBay, and eBay pays for this house. eBay pays for all the things that we love doing. It pays for my lifestyle. It's not a lavish lifestyle. It's definitely not a lavish lifestyle, but it pays my bills. It's my main source of income. So I don't like having a go. But this is not a fair thing to be doing, is it? It's not value for money. Yes, you get a sale eventually and you pay the fee, but it doesn't feel right. There's a difference when something doesn't feel right. Chris said, when I sent an offer to someone, it gave me an option for them to keep the offer for longer, 7 days than 2 days, which I think was the normal. 4 days is the normal at the minute, Chris, I think. Yeah. Pay per click for me is only really worth it if you've got replenishables, if you've got like a multi-listing with high competition, then it's probably worth it. High competition, high click-through rates that convert a lot. eBay pushed me into free postage. Gary says, I think the reason Vinted is doing so well is you get what you list an item for. Simple. Yeah, you kind of know where you stand, don't you, with Vinted? Like, you know that if you list something for £20, that is the amount that's going to come back to you. There's no, oh, I've got to work out final value fee 30p. There's an international fee to work out on that, and there's an advert fee to work out. There's a regulatory operating fee, whatever bullshit that fee is. Yeah, it's simple, isn't it? I just wish eBay would just do, you know what? Start again with the fees. Start from scratch. Like, scrap them all. I'm okay with fees. This is not a rant about being charged for a service. At the end of the day, everyone has to make money. eBay is the biggest platform in the world. They have to make money, otherwise they will no longer be the biggest platform in the world. I understand that. We all have to make money. eBay make money, we make money, everyone's happy. But I just wish that their whole fee structure would just start again, make it very, very simple. Because at the moment, it's getting ridiculous. You don't even know. Like, if someone says to me, like right now, if someone says, "Oh, Chris, if you sell something for £20, how much is your fee on that?" I ain't got a freaking clue anymore. I don't know. And that's where it's wrong. I should know. Off the top of my head, I should know exactly what fee that's going to cost me. Oh, it's going to be £3, £4, whatever, £5 even. I should know, but I ain't got a clue because there's 5 different potential fees going on. I should know that. I'm a seller. I'm an experienced seller, but I do not know the answer immediately to that question. And why do we not know the answer to that question? Because there's too many variables in their fees. There's too many bloody fees. If eBay want 15%, just charge us 15% and get rid of the rest. At least I know then. At least I know on that £20 sale, it's going to cost me £3. 15%. If it's 20%, say it's 20%. Forget about all the other fees. It's nonsense. We should all know exactly what our fees are, but we don't. Because it's so bloody complicated. And eBay have got a different final value fee for all the different categories. That makes no sense whatsoever. We've had this conversation before on here on a Monday night about fees and how complicated it is. It's ridiculous how, as a seller, I do not know what that fee is going to be. Even on something simple like a £10, right? £10 sale should be very easy to work out the metrics on a £10 sale, but it's not. I ain't got a clue. Not a clue. Hey, by gum. I mean, if only eBay Gum would just come out of the woodwork and do something. Maybe the logo and the website need an upgrade. It's now 2025. I don't know, Dan. I don't want them to spend any more money on things that are not necessary. Just simplify your platform. That is the great thing. Who was it who mentioned that before? That is the great thing about Vinted. It's simple. It needed Vinted knew, right? It's not by accident that Vinted is simple. It's simple to list. It's simple to sell. It's simple to understand what you're going to get because Vinted were aiming their market at Joe blogs, bog standard people, everyday people just wanting to clear out something out of their closet. And they knew if they wanted that audience, they had to be as simple as they possibly could. And that eBay and Vinted, sometimes they're a world apart. Like, I know that eBay is still the biggest and the best. They are. But they are a world apart in how they operate, their fees, their structure, their listing process. eBay's still good at a lot of things, you know. They protect you a lot more than Vinted do. So you pay for that. You pay for that. Years ago, eBay's protection was terrible. But now, you know, let's face it, on the whole, it's top notch. eBay have the best seller and buyer protection on the market, don't they? You still don't know with Vinted. It's one of the negatives of Vinted. You still don't know for sure if something goes wrong, you're going to be covered. As a reseller, when buying, you can't even work out if you might double what you have for something now. Yeah, it is more difficult. You just got to make sure that margin is big to cover it. A big margin. Not necessarily monetary big, but like percentage-wise, it needs to be big. It's crazy, Johnny, isn't it? Crazy. I don't know even how they keep up with it themselves. Dan's got a really good question here, Dan. Bloody hell, you pulled this one out of the bag. What would you say is the best change that you've made to your business in the last couple of years? Bloody hell. I normally rely on Belle for stuff like this because she remembers things a lot better than me. Let me have a think about that one, Dan. What would you say is the best change that you've made to your business in the last couple of years? If we can extend that a couple years more, Dan, I would definitely say selling clothing certainly leveled up my business. Definitely brought in more sales, increased my average sale price. Um, Prior to doing clothing, I was really like against clothing, and you wouldn't believe that now. The amount of clothing that I buy now, like a wholesale stuff and out of the car boots. But bringing in clothing was an obvious game changer for me, an obvious one. But other than that, I'm not really sure because I've kind of been fairly steady for a little while. You know, probably for the last 3 or 4 years, I've been fairly steady. That was the last biggest like change that I made that made a big impact. Business sellers are still waiting for incentives. Yeah, but apparently there are some coming this year. I believe that there are some coming. I've had it from inside eBay, but they've hit us with this one first. That's a fair point, Ian, as well. Thanks for the answer. We think selling everything works best for us. I think unless you're a true expert in something, then it probably doesn't make too much sense niching down too much. Like, unless you're a true expert, I'll use Phil Higginson again because Phil is niched into coins, like, and a specific era of coins as well. I mean, he's been on the podcast, so we've talked about this, and Phil just does that. And that's because he's got this knowledge now of that specific niche. So he's in that and he's all in on that, which is perfect, absolutely fine. But I think unless you've got, there you go, Phil's in now. Unless you've got that incredible knowledge and you've got a source of where to buy this stuff from, whatever that niche is, then I don't really think it makes a lot of sense, like niching down. And when I say niching down, I don't just mean like clothing, like as a niche. I wouldn't count that because there's a million niches within clothing. Like if you were a niche clothing seller, I would expect you to just do one type of clothing. Like at the moment, I'm doing a lot of sports jerseys, like American sports jerseys. That could possibly be a niche, like American sports jerseys. That's a niche within a niche. I wouldn't class being a clothing seller as a niche myself because it's so wide and so varied. But yeah, I think most of us are everything sellers, and I think it works quite well for the majority of us. It can't be a banned subject, Ross. We've even had him on the podcast talking about coins. Vinted prices are definitely creeping up as well, but that was always going to happen, though, Ian, wasn't it? As soon as they officially allowed pro sellers on, pro sellers are going to want the highest amount, and that might mean listing things for the same price as eBay or maybe slightly less because there's no fees involved. But that means that the average price of stuff on Vinted is definitely going up. I'm not buying as much on Vinted as I used to do, like to resell because of that. Definitely. I think that was always going to happen. Dan said, I'd love to sell Pokemon cards, but I don't have a clue. One of the sellers at the roadshow has sold cards. Yeah, but it's gaining that knowledge, isn't it? It's such a big area to be in and competitive as well. It's all about the knowledge, isn't it? Uh, I know Mr. Money Mental has told Phil no coins or lasers on Money Mental UK. Well, that's because Money Mental's a dictator, isn't he? I'm not a dictator. Is he watching now? Jason's trying to niche into smaller size stock. Oh, well, instead of selling like big items. I had someone come to view last week, but they kind of messed me about a bit. Yeah, they messed me about a bit, unfortunately. After having a lot of conversations about the van, and yeah, they I felt a bit messed about, but it didn't happen. But yeah, hopefully, I've got a couple more people who are just waiting to sell their own vehicles, and then have shown an interest in coming to view it. They said there's no point in coming to view it yet until they've sold their own car. So, because a lot of people are traveling quite a long way to come and see it. So, fingers crossed it'll go soon. But yeah, someone came to view. It didn't work out. Man of the people. What else was I going to say tonight? Big thank you to all our VIPs. Where are you? All our VIP members here. There's our new member, David. Our most recent Coinsy, and then Flipping Wolf, Mark Hill, Hartwell, Andy Green, Nespresso. And lots of these guys are in our Discord group where we chat daily about all things reselling and other related stuff, or even non-reselling stuff as well. We share stuff in there. We're like a little community, and we all help each other out. So if anybody wants to come join us, you can hit the button down below somewhere that says join, and it's $2.99 a month. And I only earn £2 of that, so it's not a cash grab. Okay, eBay's cash grabbing. I'm not cash grabbing. Someone has to pay for those duck race prizes to be posted. So yeah. Talking of duck races, who's ready for the duck race? I think we're almost there, aren't we? Peter Ray's been a member for 3 months, and Pitco's been a member for 14 months. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you being there. Peter Ray does football cards. Have a word with Peter. He might be able to help you with that one. The 163rd duck race is coming up shortly. Cookie is like Belle's shadow. Those two are together all the time. I don't get a look in with Cookie at all. If there's two of us, if I'm sat on one sofa and Belle sat on the other sofa, like Cookie will not sit with me. Like she is stuck to Mummy all the time, and when she's poorly, like at the minute, proper stuck to her, stuck like glue. Santa's been a member for 33 months. Santa, you are a legend. Although I've not seen you in the group, Santa, recently. I've not seen you in the Discord recently. And I know you're not a reseller, so it's hard to sometimes get involved in the conversation, but you're always welcome. Ross said on Fleek bought those 37. Oh yeah, the motorcycle jackets, as we said, listed as grade A, sent to Fleek for quality check, and the seller is now asking me to message Fleek to release. And apparently the jackets are B and C. Oh, maybe ask Fleek for some photos and see like what the quality is really like and if it's worth it. You can always like decline it, can't you? At that point, that's a shame, isn't it? But at least it's been noted. Or maybe you'll be able to get them cheaper, Ross. Like you might be able to renegotiate the price on those if it's not A. I would consider that. Yeah, Belle went to Paris for a hen party and she's come back with COVID. So she's had a horrible few days, really, to be honest, because at first she was definitely affected by her chronic fatigue that she lives with, and she had a tough time coming back from Paris. with the fatigue that she was suffering. But then turns out she had COVID on top, which has really knocked her for 6. So, yeah. I only join Discord discussions about Christmas things. Oh, right, okay, it's like that, is it? Anyway, I'm going to leave you guys. Thank you to all our VIP members. Appreciate you all being here. Appreciate you all subscribing and being part of the channel. Thank you all so much. If anyone else wants to join, feel free. You can do. And David, don't forget, if you're still here, David, message me if you want to come into the Discord so that I can get you all the information. On the channel this week, I'm considering a whatnot this week. I've got the stock for it. I was going to do one last week, but Belle wasn't well, obviously, and that's got worse as the week's gone on. So I'm wondering if she's going to be all right later this week for a whatnot show. I'm not sure. So I'm considering a whatnot. I might have to do it on my own. I could do a get clearing some stock, to be honest, and getting some money in. So videos this week, definitely a weekend boot sale video. So that'll be coming out. You might have noticed as well, I've been doing a lot more shorts, reels and TikToky things and stuff. So long may that continue. I'm planning on continue those. The reels and the shorts seem to be doing quite well at the moment, and it seems to also be driving traffic to the main channel. It seems to be driving views up on other videos, so that's all good. So I will continue with those. I know, there's no point really waiting for a short. It's over in 30 seconds, like a lot of things in life. But yeah, it's not really a video, but I'm doing it to help the channel, help grow the channel. It seems to be doing quite well. Thank you, Ian. Appreciate it. 100 people watching that haven't hit the like. That's very true, Ready Steady Retro. Yeah. Where's all the likes? I had a good old rant tonight. We all have. That deserves a thumbs up, doesn't it? Nice one, Dave. Appreciate that. I believe Dave's got some lives coming soon. Right. Let me just make sure I've covered everything. Let me make sure. I think I have. I think I've covered most things that I had down. Okay. Final check on the poll. 34% of you are going to say that's it, no more promoting. 30% same as, suck it up. 22% never promoted, never will. And 15% are going to make a few little changes to their promoting strategy to try and reduce the impact. Interesting. Thank you all for voting. Hope everyone in the USA had an enjoyable Memorial Day weekend and did something patriotic. Happy Memorial Day. Is that a phrase? Is that what we would say for that? I don't know. I don't know much about Memorial Day. Okay, right. Let's get ready for the duck race. I think we are here now. Why is that not coming up? Please don't give me more problems, StreamYard. Why is it not coming up? Hate StreamYard sometimes. Oh, there we go. It's working. It's working. No drama. No drama. Here we go. Who's ready? Let's see. Let's see if we can share the screen on the duck race. Otherwise, it's going to be a bit of a crappy race. Share screen. This is what I was having trouble with before. I couldn't put myself on it. Duck race. Are we on? We're on. It seems to have rectified itself. Only problem is there's no names on it. Brilliant. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, duck race. I'm going to just give me a second, guys. No names. Luckily, I had it I had it saved. Two minutes. Shuffle those ducks. Are we ready for this or what? I'm stalling. Here we go. And the duck race is off. And it's a tightly packed field as we go. It's not a field, is it? It's a pond. It's a lake. It's a river. Resell for rescue. Early lead with Jamie D. And Emsden UK are there at the bottom. Retro boot disc. Mark Hill all at the front of the pack. Alknax is close. Retro boot disc currently leading. Resell for rescue in second. And Alknax maybe third, maybe, depending on the perspective. We need to draw a line, don't we? Like an offside line, just to see who actually is in the lead. It's impossible to see who's in the lead here. It's Rosie Marsden is close. Oh, I thought something had broken. Peter Ray currently leading with a naked duck. And who we've got towards the back? Tam's Reselling Life's got no chance. Married to Reselling are out of the race. Shabba's moving off towards the back. Emsden UK hovering in the middle of the pack. Jeff Davis basically last. Lisa's disappearing out the back. And nothing major. We got Jamie D. Kez TV leads. Mr. AJ is second. Pitco third. It's all very, very close. Jamie D now third place. Kez TV is maintaining the lead with a naked duck. Deborah Sardine is very close now, coming up also with a naked duck. Deborah and Kez both up there naked now. And who's that? Is that Tam's Reselling Life? Come out of nowhere. Tam's Reselling Life has come out of nowhere there with the punk duck. And Deborah Sardine currently leading with a naked. Resell for rescue. Right, 15 seconds. The pack splits. The tired ones are dropping out. And we're left with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at the front. No, we're not. We've got Resell for... No, we're not. Karen Evans, Angel Delight currently leading. Could be anybody's race, this. Anybody's race. Someone's going to come out of nowhere to win this. Married to Reselling win after they almost gave up just moments ago. Married to Reselling were out. And now they are the winner. That is how it goes in the duck race. Well done to Married to Reselling. There you go. I think that's the first time Married to Reselling have ever won this race. Happy days. They came out of nowhere. Nowhere for that. If Married to Reselling are still here, you need to send me a message, guys. Message me, Instagram, wherever. And let me know your address. And your prize will be in the post as soon as possible. Well done, Married to Reselling. Can we turn this music off? Please. Yeah, there we go. Yes, well done, Married to Reselling, duck race winner. If you're wondering, if you're watching this and you're thinking, how do I enter this duck race? Well, it's very, very simple. As soon as the show finishes tonight, when it is available to watch back on a replay, you can come onto this show and you can make a comment. Comment anything you like. Whatever comment you make will qualify you to enter into next week's duck race. That's where I get all the ducks' names from. It's from the previous week's comments. Not the comments that you see here that are live, not those comments. That would be way too many. But after the show has ended, you've got to come back a few minutes later when it's available to watch on replay and make your comment then. Okay, has Married to Reselling gone? I think they've disappeared. They never made it to the duck race. It's a shame because they won. Jeff says, my duck was bald. Duck race is a YouTube algorithm defeat mechanism. I'm not sure about that, Jeff, but it's fun anyway, isn't it? It's just good fun. And we're pretty much done. We've done an hour and 30, and it's still not quite dark yet. Not quite dark out. And we are finished. Absolutely finished. I've covered everything. Anyone got any parting comments before we go? Other than that, look out for possibly a whatnot this week and definitely boot sale video at the weekend. Yeah, I think that's it. Good night, everybody. We're going to finish up with a reselling factoid like we have been doing recently. I'm going to give you a strange and weird fact to go away with and think about. So, this week's factoid. eBay once banned the sale of invisible items after someone tried to sell an invisible friend. And people actually bid on that as well, didn't they?